welcome to my channel. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Felicia. This is Felicia in the Trees Tarot, and I run a nonprofit in women's health called DIVAS Can Manifest. I am a human and civil rights advocate, and I welcome into today's pick a card reading. We are getting into the topic of how do men who identify as men view you. Let's get into the overhead selection. We have done this topic on the channel before, so I'll link down the latest version. Don't forget to check out our community shop to consider giving back to the channel so that we can keep our lights on and continue to make this information accessible to all and for free. Pile 1, you are Rihanna with dominance. Pile 2, you are Hustle with the City Girls. And then pile 3, you are Lady Luck. Period. So let's get into it, and I'll see you in your selection. Bye. Hi, pile 1. Welcome to your selection. So you chose Rihanna with dominance. So let's get into how men view you. Okay, so Rihanna has come up so much on the channel, and a lot of recent exposure and news about Rihanna as well. Okay, not all of it good and not all of it bad, but I feel like, you know, how men are viewing you is they see that you are coming into prominence. You are dominating something, and it is whipping someone. You know, this could be men that are viewing you or viewing you whip someone. Okay, they're viewing you. They see that you have another man whipped, or you have, this is like a one of your romantic partners, okay, or a romantic affair where they see that you have dominated this masculine or this man, and they are whipped. Say this person is whipped, friend, okay, because when this person was really lonely, they connected with you, okay, and this person has not, it's like maybe for some of you guys, they wanted you the moment they saw you, and something that you were doing, helped this person understand that you were a connection. I'm hearing that this is someone who is really connected to you because of something that you were doing that helped them understand that you were one. I don't know, this feels like men who have a big difference from you. Maybe there's a cultural difference here, maybe there's an age difference, maybe there's a difference in belief system like religion, but this person is something that you have done, you know, despite the difference, friend. You have whipped them into, they whipped it, you know, whipped around your finger, okay, wrapped around your finger. They see you doing it so delicately. Because I'm getting that when you found this person perhaps, or when this person found you, maybe they're watching you on social media, but when this person found you, they were so lacking. Like, they just did not have anyone that they could really relate to, and I'm hearing they might have screamed when they met you, or they were so excited to have you, friend, okay? I don't think that you were, you know, this person has been so sad and lonely in their life, and they could not believe that you existed. Something where when the first time this person saw you, you were wearing the color red, and this I don't know what this might be. This might be significant to them in some type of way, okay? So this man, you know, let's see, how are men viewing you, pal one? That's hilarious. some of you guys may have been wearing all black or all brown, or you may have had some kind of like, you may have had some kind of, what was I gonna say? Like, you may have had some kind of, cheetah print on as well, okay? So, how are men viewing you? Okay, so these men are watching you release them, because some of you guys have been whipped by somebody else, or you know who you, it's like the doors are closing, okay? Or this is a man that made a big, these are men that made really big sacrifices with you, okay? And they they feel like they really missed out on something great because they were not able to communicate or something like that. And you and this person have a lot of memories together is what I'm hearing. Maybe, like I said, when they first met you, they, like, this could be someone that you're leaving behind, or somebody that you, this could be a man that you're leaving behind, or men that you're leaving behind, because it feels like you have had a lot of memories with these people. I'm hearing fun times, good times, moments of celebration, helping each other improve in big ways in your life. But there was a situation where this person got triggered by something that they have been attached to in the past, or something, or this could be you guys are, you know, because of a trigger, this relationship may have ended, okay? So I'm getting that for those of you who have, you know, this person has been struggling with past baggage, this is a time where they see you burning bridges. They might see you prioritizing your financial gains, and anything that is standing in the way of your financial security, you're letting it go. You have a lot of relationships with people who, you may have a lot of relationships with people who you might have formed memories with. But I feel like a lot of relationships from your past were relationships that you formed when you were in a scarcity. And they do not reflect you at your fullest potential. They don't reflect you as how you may show up today. A lot of you guys have glowed up since meeting this person, or since dealing with some of these men, and when you were with them, it was like you were settling. It's like you guys project the one so much onto these partners, and I don't think that you mean to, but I think that it is, this relationship that was a dangerous projection. And so these memories that you've had with this person, or the memories that they have with a past baggage, are not real, because they were just someone projecting you. And when you are in a dynamic where you're projecting, meaning that, or you're projecting or they're projecting, this is not actually who someone is. It is their way to build rapport, to it may not always be negative, okay? That's the mirroring and the projection may not always be negative, but it could lead to unreal expectations or things that are completely false. And so sometimes when people mirror behavior, it's not who they truly are. It is what they do and how they shapeshift in any given moment to an image that serves them. So you may have come across this person when you were really lonely, and they were just, connecting with them were just like, it was just like they were projecting your image, or what they thought that you wanted, the one that you would like want, right? And I think that you started to learn that, like, some of you guys started to get uncomfortable around them, or things started to dry up when you I'm hearing when you put up some type of boundaries with them, okay? I'm getting that you put up strong boundaries and they were no longer able to mirror your behavior, so the connection went dry. I'm hearing things fizzled out. This person, I don't know, some type of limitation that they had where they did not have enough information to mirror your behavior anymore. I'm getting that when it was time to communicate about something important, they no longer, like, you, where you open up the door for them to communicate independently is what I'm hearing. And I hope that makes sense, because sometimes when mirroring happens is that, like, when you're not, these are people who are pretending to fellowship, like these release rituals of these attachment to the memories and feelings of nostalgia that you may get from these people is throw the whole relationship in the trash, because those memories were not real. Those people are just they just act like you in the moment because it serves them, right? Getting something out of your relationship perhaps, or you could even be getting something out of the relationship as well. But this is a situation where things, it feels like, whatever the incentive was to mirror your behavior, it could have been just defensiveness that they didn't want to admit, right? When people don't feel safe to be themselves, they'll behave like you, okay? But that's really like defensiveness, right? I'm getting that, these men, how they're viewing you, a lot of these men, they watched you travel or move. Like, maybe there was a big sacrifice or a big boundary that you put up in a relationship so that they can stop mirroring you. Like I said, this was a dangerous projection leading to separation and painful ending. There may have been a situation where they did not reciprocate, and it's really because they did not feel good enough. They could no longer mirror your behavior when you grew in awareness around this connection, and if it was really something that was serving you, okay? Especially when you started to feel awkward, uncomfortable, unsafe, perhaps, okay? We have marriage. Okay, so this could be somebody that you were married to. Or we have the CEO. Okay, we have the CEO. We have Scorpio. And then we have the letter Y. Okay. And then on the bottom, that beauty and brains, of course. Okay. This person, so you, so this is not so bad, friend. I'm getting that a lot of this is about their ex-partner, someone that they could have been married to. Somebody has been really nostalgic about someone that they were married to, and this person has because this marriage broke down, it's not just a romantic relationship, but it's a big contract. It's kind of like a financial dispute. And so when these marriages broke down, or these relationships that had a lot of securities within them, when they broke down, there was actually damages. There were actual damages, and there were actual financial losses incurred on both sides. And it became a fight for resources, where this is really a conflict that they perpetuate in a codependency that they formed for finances. So a lot of this relationship that they had in the marriage broke down probably because of infidelity, or just that this person really was not connecting with this person. This person was just using their imagination when they were with this person, pretending to be connecting with this person, but they were truly not connecting with this person. This marriage is ending, whether they like to admit it or not, and they might have memories, and they might be, college sweethearts, high school sweethearts, and they might have kids, they might have businesses together, they might have homes together, cars, right? It will become a fight for resources, especially when they realize that they could be making all these sacrifices to come to be with you, right? Of course, they don't want you to have any resources, so they'll do anything, like commit crimes, to steal financial resources from a marriage contract. A lot of them, okay? So, you know, this relationship with this person, you know, they start to realize that they were disconnected from reality and had been having the perception that was of a imaginal point of view. This person was not really connected to this person that they were married to. This was a codependency, or it was a relationship that they formed when they were really lonely. And you came into this person's life, and I'm hearing they experienced unconditional love and started to release self-doubt and self-judgment, and started having so much more compassionate relationships and started connecting so much more, okay? And so a lot of them, they know that your relationship with them is deep, tenacious, and established because of this lifelong, I mean, not lifelong, but like this long journey of self-discovery that you guys have had with one another, and how you've inspired each other's creativity and have helped promote this person's strong investigative powers as well, especially because there's some type of fraudulent behavior going on in this marriage where it's really a conflict or a fight for resources, corruption, crimes getting committed, you know, towards one another because the romantic relationship broke down and the roots were not strong enough to sustain a friendship, and to like people were, there was just a huge lack of accountability in this marriage. And I think a lot of it was because this partner was actually fluid, and a lot of you, this person did not really connect with this person because they were never really able to be their true selves. They were pretending, imagining that they were connecting, especially some of them having admonished sexuality, repressed sexuality, sexual trauma, issues with their sexuality, gender dysmorphia. And a lot of these people, this was just the beginning of their life and journey. And they've actually like taken so much lifelong, they've had a lot of lifelong lessons with this person, a lot of memories with this person, but they're having to realize that those relationships were not real, okay? Someone may have been, you know, they've been investigating this marriage, and so, you know, they've been doing this for you, friend, okay? I'm hearing that, you know, they've been doing this for you because they can't believe that they're gifted a beauty and brains, and you accept them for who they are, and you are the reason why they smile, because they never thought that they could be loved by someone like you, okay? So this person has been needing to adapt from a failed marriage or another relationship where there were a lot of financial securities, okay? And they need to investigate this person as well, because this person was truly hollow, okay? How they have been really doing something to not just reject them, but to harm them, okay? Some of them in a marriage. And they have a lot of nostalgia about this past relationship or some past relationships, but they have to realize that, like, you know, they may have, you know, they just invested and they poorly attached to something that wasn't real, okay? Even if they married, friend, okay? They're starting to realize that that person was just in it for the status and the money, and, you know, it was not deep and tenacious, okay? We have the King of Cups. This is someone who's very, you know, emotionally balanced about you. They know that this whole fiasco in in your home life and your relationship, where there may involve a marriage, or this is somebody that could be considering you for marriage, but you know, the reason why you guys are not experiencing emotional fulfillment right now is because they're still lacking clarity around something. So I'm getting that they are inspired to move and travel and to see something different, to release some type of limiting belief that has been keeping them tethered to some type of nostalgia in a marriage or in a past relationship, an ex, okay, an ex-partner. So let's see what they want to say to you, these men, okay. And they need to make a lot of, you know, sacrifice. Yeah, I knew this was going to come out. I feel so rejected and abandoned. This person coming to you, these men have been so rejected and abandoned. And it's because they really have rejected and abandoned themselves, trying to force connections with these people who they can never be fluid with. They can never be their true self. Okay? And so they got rejected in every relationship. Some of them, they really have been even exiled from their family or communities because of their fluid sexuality. And they have a really, they project a lot onto you, their past relationship that failed, where they were struggling and had been admonished in some type of way and got rejected by people. This person is having to wake up and realize that those people were not deep and tenacious just because you were married, and starting to see the hidden and shadow aspects and motivations that would inspire these people to abuse their authority and just take advantage of somebody that was lonely. And so, they're defensive and they're struggling to release the third party ex, struggling to, they get triggered a lot by the situation because they're like, they're just scared that they're going to, like, I don't know, they're scared that they're going to fall into the illusion again, okay? Where they had the wishful thinking that these were deep and tenacious relationship, but they were really rejected and abandoned so much that people would fight for financial securities and leave them with nothing, right? So that's what I'm saying, friends. Let me know how that resonates. This is how the men are viewing you right now, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Hi, Pal 2. Welcome to your selection. So you chose Hustle with the City Girls. How do men view you? Okay. So men see that you're all about that cash. Okay. And you're not playing about your money is what I'm hearing. I'm hearing run me my money. Run me my money. Okay. And they see that them dollars is actually flying, friend. Okay. Some of y'all work at the nightclub, okay? Got them dollars flying. They see that you get to that money and you're not playing. But a lot of you guys, you get triggered. They see that you get triggered sometimes, and that makes you discouraged and makes you scared, okay? But don't be afraid of the money, friend. Say, money, come to me. Be open to receiving that money, friend. You are abundant. You are the empress. Okay, we have shadow and light. These men, they see that you have balanced some type of shadow aspect around getting to the money. Oh my God. And I'm getting that something about it. Okay, I just heard something. Okay, so they see that, you've had to integrate some type of shadow around getting to some type of bag. This is going to require giving somebody an L. I'm hearing this bag that you're receiving is about to give somebody the biggest fucking L that they've ever seen. Especially if you guys are here from Pal 1. You guys are getting ready for a deep and tenacious relationship. And you are like Eve in the Garden of Eden. You are about to receive the highest amount of honor and abundance. And this is going to require giving somebody an L. People see that you have had to hustle to get to this point. I'm hearing them dollars. Them dollars is flying, friend. Okay, people is making it rain. people making it rain, friend. Okay, so this bag, these are men who are so proud of you because they seen you when you were hustling for bare necessities. Like, they cannot believe that you didn't bossed up to this point where you got them dollars coming like this. And I'm hearing, that's why I love you. That's why I love you. Oh my God, that's so freaking cute. Like the way that you integrated this shadow, they see that you have become the black swan. You integrated the black swan, friend. You did it. You did. You did, friend. Okay, you got to that bag and you say, I'll make them dollars come. And you got the dollars, friend. It's like they can't be mad about the occupation because it's just like you have created this beautiful garden for your family and these men. These men feel like they're in the Garden of Eden, friend. Blissed out. I'm hearing playlist lit, Wi-Fi lit. Y'all, they see that you are so happy. You're like a rock star. Some of you guys are performers, or you're going to a lot of music concerts, and they see that you're having a lot of parties. Some of you guys are hosting a get together, and they see that you just got that money in your hand. And you so happy about this. They see that you're so happy about this money that's coming in, y'all. Like, cause they seen you. You know, a lot of them may have seen you when you were down and out. You know, they seen you when you didn't have enough. And some of these men, they wanted to see you without it. Okay, some of these men left you in an emergency, right? And you had to integrate that shadow aspect to like discern a shadow aspect in somebody who's duplicitous and maybe going to prison. So I'm hearing that the spotlight is on you. Okay, this is how men are viewing you, because the spotlight is on you. And I'm hearing your empire that has been you're about to put, some of y'all, the men are seeing that you're about to put somebody in prison. You're about to put somebody in prison. So I'm hearing that this person had an unreasonable search and seizure. Okay, this is a woman. This person is a Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, or their name could start with the letter B. This person has or a letter E or a letter L, or these can be any combinations of letters within their name, first and last name. But I'm getting that some of you guys, this is a situation where someone had an unreasonable search and seizure. They broke and entering, or they stole some of your possessions. I'm hearing a breaking of your Fourth Amendment rights. And so this shadow aspect is something that you've needed to, I'm hearing a dark night of the soul, and you doing a lot of shadow work to be able to discern this. And now they see that after integrating a shadow and putting someone in prison perhaps because of like their violation where they acted out of a shadow, they see that you're now blissed out, that you're safe, and now that you're like your money's coming in or something like that. And they're saying that this person, I'm hearing they're saying that this woman was obsessed with your body, okay, and how it was making you money. And this person had been like stalking you, harassing you, trying to see your the way that you operate so that they can breach your security. So these people try to follow your schedule, they try to follow your geography, they try to follow all your navigation, they try to follow, they might, you know, pick up on a lot of your consumer data, or they undermine your femininity a lot, okay, or your trusting, receptive side a lot. And this was a shadow aspect where you learned that somebody feminine, this or a woman that had who was an unhealed masculine energy, you know, they acted out of a shadow aspect and may have violated your Fourth Amendment rights. And they might have done something, they might have used their military authority to violate your Fourth Amendment rights. Like, let's get some more information. How are, you know, these men, I'm getting that they got disillusioned by someone because they realized that this person was obsessed with your body. So let's see what's going on here, friend. We have the letter E. Okay. Big dick energy. We have sports. LOL. But okay, big butt. And then we have Archangel Raphael. Okay, y'all. So I'm getting that these are men who were involved in criminal activity for you. Okay, they didn't want to see. They saw that you were involved in sports, and they targeted your body type in a sport, okay, or they tried to marginalize your body type in a sport. And they see that someone, the reason why this is a disillusionment is because, like, while they were trying to, I'm hearing they were trying to pretend that your body type, they tried to body type you, maybe even in a negative way, but it was not applicable, especially when they realized that someone was targeting you for your body type. like someone was obsessed with you, like committing crimes against you because they wanted to kidnap you, murder you, or do something harmful to your physical body. Like this was like literally someone who wanted to trace your operations, or did some type of they were obsessed with your belongings and tried to steal like belongings, and obsessed with you, who you are, and how your possessions represent who you are. And they see like that this person was obsessed with your body, and like that this was their nightmarish rewrite. Like someone tried to be a nightmare, where they like people are realizing that these are the men who help someone commit crimes. They were the ones that were sulky, moody, and jealous about your body type doing this type of sport, or they were the ones that was getting mad that that you were getting a lot of money for your big booty. Okay, and yeah, this is crazy. These men are mad that you have a big butt. So, somebody commented recently on a video and said like, "Oh, not every man wants a big butt." Um, you're probably right about that, but I that probably just means you whack though. But, to each their own. You're allowed your preferences. But to be committing crimes against somebody or targeting someone's body type means that you're really obsessed with it. So, like, it's not that you don't want, like, if you don't want it, if you don't want a big butt or you don't want this body type, then why are you obsessed with it? If you're criticizing this body type, if this body type is so bad and you don't like it so much, then why are you obsessed with it? So that was not making sense, right? So this is the disillusionment, is that somebody was trying to, these may have been men who tried to slander you, or, they overheard, or they were involved in some type of slander of you, and they realized that I feel like so much is happening here. I feel like, they might have been involved in slandering your body, but then got disillusioned when they realized that someone was committing crimes against you because of your body friend, and that's going to actually land them in prison. And then it was like, oh, we cannot continue to deny the facts of reality, that your obsession with what if you don't like it, why are you obsessed with it? The truth is, the body is better. That's the truth. That's the tea, friend. That's the gag. That's the incontrovertible evidence. Because you're the one that's getting paid. It's like, especially if you guys are at the club, like these might be people at the club that be trying to body type you, but you're the one that's getting those dollars and making it rain. Like, I'm hearing that you're the one that's getting to the bag, and they're like trying to come for your body, and they're like, these are breadwinners, friend. So, what you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about, friend, but I'm also getting there's another situation where you're like, you might be dealing with like people who are jealous of your big booty and body type because it gets so much money where you are, right? But there's another realm or another existence where your body type is so marginalized and so discriminated against, right? Especially in some type of sport that you're doing, or some type of aesthetic thing that you're doing, body typing that they're doing around your big butt, is something that they may have been like just wanting to see skinny types in, right? And people who don't have curves and big booties like that, right? They're not used to your body type doing it. And the truth is, the body is better. And the truth is, you're better at the sport as well. It's not just about the body being better. It's about you being better at the sport as well. So they see that you're blissed out because you're the best, okay? And that you're actually the one that's getting the money for doing this sport. So we can't ain't no body typing because you ain't getting chose. Ain't no body type because you ain't getting chose, okay? Nobody can continue to deny, like, oh, we don't like that body type. Oh, well, that's the body type that's getting paid. I'm hearing that this is like a resistance or spiritual warfare, where people are trying to, like, they're sharing a lot of opinions about your body type in this sport, right? And some of you guys, the truth is, this might be you might be dealing with some type of other type of body type of issue, but some of you guys really have a crime, or the root cause of it this person was driven by an obsession of your body. So this is a story of somebody who was obsessed with your body, okay? So I think that this is what the disillusionment is that all these people who were, I'm hearing that they started seizing and searching your belongings because they just was obsessed with how your body was, how your body was exploring this sport. Like they wanted to know, like they became obsessed with everything about you. They started to commit crimes and started to search lockers, started to steal possessions so that you would be too burdened to practice this sport. They did not want to see your body in this sport. And I'm hearing that this sport actually inspired you to hustle hard as fuck. But I think that now you realize that this person was body typing because they were struggling with some type of conservatism or some type of convention, some type of, established way of doing things, and you came in and you became the started. I'm hearing something where these men see you and that you stole the show, okay? And this is why you're blissed out. I'm hearing you guys are on, like, you're in the spotlight, and people are watching you perform or watching you excel at this sport, and they were not expecting your body to be able to do this and to look good doing it, right? And the truth is the body is better and the body is preferred, and they see that the body is getting money because the body is a star, okay? So, I'm getting that for some of you guys, they feel like, especially if you guys are at the club or something like that, they feel like there's a lot of women around you, like I said, people who are growing resentment at your body doing this, and it's like you're in bliss, okay, you're a star, and they see that like they see that the rest of the other women are like begging. I'm hearing that they're begging, or they're getting offered, they're getting breadcrumbs is what I'm hearing. I'm hearing people are starting to breadcrumb the other people doing this because they just see you as the star friend. And like I said, you stole the show, and it like, I don't know what happened, but your shadow, the way that you integrated the shadow aspect and became and materialized some type of success at this, is what the men are viewing, and they see that you are, with the Six of Pentacles, I'm getting men are giving to you generously, or men are giving to you generously, but they're still trying to balance their perspective around, how the previous state of the network used to be. They're wishing, they're knowing that a lot of this fighting and resistance in the environment has been people, they have been attacking your body in this sport because they really have been seeing your body move and being able to excel at this sport has been truly threatening these people to the point where it might be getting someone imprisoned because your body doing this sport. But there is someone, I'm hearing that, the relationships that are ending from the past, I'm hearing canceled friends, especially for the ones who are going to prison. There's a lot of sadness around this time, nostalgia around how things used to be before they got out of control and started committing crimes about your body type. And they couldn't handle you as a star, okay? And I know that this makes you feel really, really scared or unsafe that someone became obsessed with your physical body. And a lot of these men, they have been struggling, and everyone has been struggling, with this false person that has been in the environment, where they have been pretending to be fellowshipping, but they really have been trying to, get information so that they can cause some type of security breach. And we're just realizing that we're actually not fellowshipping with them. They're actually trying to do something criminal and stop us from having a good time and stop you from being a star. And the men really, they really honor you. They keep reinforcing your position and letting people know that you're immovable, especially because someone was trying to attack your security and attack your connection to the earth plane by searching and seizing, or targeting you for some type of crime to obstruct your liberty to explore this sport and your body type, okay? And I think that throughout this whole process, you guys became, a celestial healer, healing the physical body through this sport. And now you are beautiful and, like, so good at this, and they're still having to balance the murky thoughts and the resistance from the past where people said all these bad things about you or body typed you, or like, this is a story of you probably even needing to defend your potential, right? They may have, they knew that your body, how your body type would turn out, or they just didn't, you're a marginalized group, or they know that your body types, they know how your body types are, and they just haven't been wanting you guys to have recognition to reveal the roots of desire, or to take attention away from some other group where they know that they would be insecure about their physical body. And this is you. These men are still integrating a shadow aspect around like these deep insecurities around people who are motivated for sex, and how people's demons will jump out, and their organ inferiorities will jump out, and their personal issues will jump out because you were doing this sport in your body type. And so, they did jump out, and it's getting someone, in prison, and a lot of you guys are feeling safe. You're excelling now after having to defend your potential, and they see that your body some of you guys have transformed into this body. So it feels like, people are, this is more about a story of like how people are obsessed with your body, and how, these men have to get their closure around, not, and be strong and resist the temptation to conform to what was previously established, where these people were, they're so pressured by, this dominant culture, or this group that may feel intimidated by your physical body, and this is what is driving the obsession, right? So I think that throughout this whole process of people attacking your body, men are seeing that you had a really, really strong spirit to stay connected to the earth realm, because there's been so many people trying to stop you from excelling at this sport, because they're so threatened by how your body, of your body existing, and how it would disillusion these other people. And they've been showing a really, really big conservative, conventional issue of, not wanting to disillusion these people, and it doesn't even have to be a disillusionment, but they'll just like, they have a lot of emotional weakness and insecurity around your body type and what it means about the roots of desire, sexuality, and personal preferences. And so these are people who will struggle with their root chakra a lot. Like, these are people who will struggle with their sense of security. It's like, when you come around with your body type and excelling in this sport, this removes a lot of people. Like I said, you're the star. These men view you as the star, and they say like, look, we're going to discern all of this resistance. We're going to see that all these other people who were the established principle or body type, that you just don't want this group to be represented because of emotional insecurity and weakness. And they're saying, look, we're not going to keep feeling sorry for you because you're just not a star at it, right? And they see that your body is just like, you're the one getting the cash, and you're the one that stole the show. LOL. Damn. Thank you so much. Powtube, let me know how that resonates, and don't forget to shop Cosmic Intelligence to consider giving back to us, and I'll see you in the next one. Hi, Pout3. Welcome to your selection. So you chose Lady Luck, and men see that you're very lucky. They see that, especially because these are men who may have left you high and dry, and they see that you just turned back and gave them like this kind of, you see how this look in her face? Like, look at this look in her face. She like, oh, woe is me, to find out that you're a clown or a loser. What's that audio on Instagram? You're a clown. Why didn't I see it sooner? I know somebody knows. It's like, these are men that you realize they were a clown, right? Maybe someone's name is Garrett, or their name starts with a letter L or G. And I'm getting that when you realize that this person was a lame, you gave them, like, you showed them some like they saw something lucky happen to you. Some of them, after you saw that they were a clown, they turned around and saw you go back. They turned around looking at your social media, and saw that you went viral. they saw that you became a social media influencer or you came into some type of windfall of money. And they were like, oh my God. I tried to leave them for dead. Yo, okay. So we have vulnerability and empathy. Let me be serious. Okay. So I'm getting that you end up having a lot of empathy for these people. I'm getting that these are men who really struggle to communicate. I'm hearing really blocked throat chakras, and I'm hearing that they would come around you and they were wearing a total mask, right? And look, make a wish, friend. Like, I'm hearing that, yes, wish for some money, wish for a windfall of money, wish for your divine counterpart. Okay, wish for empathy, wish for the right things, because I feel like I don't know, it feels like these people, when you had a lot of empathy for them because you just realized they really were struggling because you literally did nothing to them. I'm hearing something where they really had a hard time communicating, and so they just failed, and that made you see them as a big loser. And I know they're so embarrassed and they feel like an idiot because they failed to communicate, or they failed to do the most important thing. And it was like some of them, they even because they could not communicate, they grew a resentment towards you. And it was like, you ended up feeling really sorry for these men because you realized that they were really scarce and lacking and not able. Okay, they were not able. Yeah, all eyes on you. Like, a girl, like some of y'all, this person has literally watched a group of people be obsessed with you. They're literally watching you on television. They're watching you go viral. They're watching you gain prominence, gain influence. They're watching you get a lot of flowers. Like I said, they're watching you be very lucky, and they just feel like an idiot because of how they handled the situation. It's like something where when they couldn't communicate or they were struggling with something in your relationship, they made it, they projected and made it, like it was a problem with you, or that it was something that you were doing, and you just feel sorry for them because that's like a really big loser. To like not be able to take responsibility for yourself makes you a really big loser. It makes you, I think that because you were an it girl, this person knew that you were all that in a bag of chips, and so they you were looking so, I don't know, that's really intimidating to like communicate with somebody. Like, it girls are like so plastic sometimes and so superficial sometimes, and it is like really hard to like, to build up the courage to speak to an it girl. Like, that's like, an it girl has that beautiful face, porcelain doll like face, banging body, stylish, you know what I'm saying? So it can be really intimidating to like express something that they might feel insecure about, or really not being able to reciprocate because they did not feel good enough about themselves because you're such an it girl, so, or that, it person, like a really popular person, or really, like this person really, like these men really see you as really popular. So they they think that's real cute, but that also makes it, they struggle to find, the right way to say something, right? They want it to be perfect because they see that you're such a perfect person, right? Like, you're not perfect, obviously, but like, it can still be a challenge to talk to someone that's so rewarded and honored like you, okay? So, yeah, so let's see. Hello, friends. I'm getting that, you realize that, like, this relationship felt like a dream. I'm hearing that these are men where you may have, like, these are men, I'm not going to say they ghosted, but these are relationships that didn't last, perhaps. And you may have experienced moments of vulnerability with one another, but I think that the relationships cannot sustain because they could not reciprocate. They fizzled out, they burnt out, they dried up because they couldn't communicate. I'm hearing they just sat there looking at you as this it girl. I'm hearing they just became a fan, and got left behind because they were never able to like communicate anything. Okay, and so you had to see. You were very intuitive about this and had empathy for them, but I think that you ended up like it was because they couldn't evolve some type of karmic behavior of not communicating, okay? Or like there was like some kind of karmic repetition with these men, where you had the same issue of people projecting onto your pretty and occupation. So I think that when you started to get when you started to realize that they were struggling to, I don't know, like feel confident enough to talk to you, then you had a lot of empathy for them, especially like knowing that you have this success, recognition, always getting congratulations is what I'm hearing. You know, some of them, they got so threatened by your material goods. They got so threatened by your, your tendencies and how you're, some type of rich behavior that you had or something like that. Some of you showed this person so how dependable you were as well, and that was intimidating as well. Like, it's so weird that people, they finally get a friend that they can depend on and start rejecting them. Like, oh my God, I don't know how to accept that. You know what I mean? Like something like that. And they see that you were very patient with them, and you ultimately helped them, but they felt so beneath you. They felt really inferior, okay? And so, you realize that made them a big loser in life, okay? Yeah, divine feminine, stay applying that pressure. So this is probably your divine masculine, okay? And I'm getting that there's somebody who has been, they could be in a competition with you for your for a related topic that you work in, okay, or something that you studied. This person, I'm hearing that something about your occupation. There are people who have related topics to your occupation. And I'm hearing that this could be something that you studied while you were in university. This could be your major, right? Some of you guys are doing something that you're very known for, but I'm also getting their related topics to what you were known for, or smaller topics of what you were known for, that make these people, like, I'm hearing they want to try to compete for in related topics. And I'm getting that you really are, I'm hearing that this could be a comeback season for you, friend, or this could be, like I said, these are men who may have joined in with the people who hated you. I'm hearing they became one of your fans, or they left you in they could have left you in emergency. They could have left you without things that you needed. They could have left you high and dry, where you were really dependable with them, right? You were really dependable, but when it was time for you to depend on them, they were not there to be found, or something like that. And they saw that you were just very lucky, and that a lot of people are trying to stop you from applying that pressure by leaving you with damages or leaving you high and dry, okay? Some of these people, they really, like, some of them, when you, like, they left you for the wolves, or they left you in a competition with people who want to compete in related topics, okay, or something like that. Like, they know it's like something where this is someone who knew that you were divine feminine, and they knew that you were the one for them, and they deliberately disobeyed, is what I'm hearing. And this may not be the end of the relationship. I just feel like it is. You kind of see them as a loser now, okay, because you are divine feminine, okay. So, these men, they're seeing, they're viewing your university or education. They see that your natural ass is applying a lot of pressure to a plastic surgery ass, is what I'm hearing. They see your natural ass is applying a lot of pressure to a plastic surgery ass. LOL, okay? So, these men, they see that your house is rewarded. That you have, like I said, you get rewards and recognition. You're it girl. You get features a lot. You get a lot of press, perhaps. And some of you, they're seeing you with a disability. Some of you guys, they're seeing that ass. Or they're seeing some type of creativity. A lot of you guys, these relationships, they may have left you without closure. They may have been ghosting you or something like that, or they just refused to communicate. They stopped cooperating. But they saw that you, like, you know, you were shocked by their non-cooperation, and then something else saved you, is what I'm hearing. I'm hearing something else saved you and helped you apply that pressure where they tried to go support a competition, okay? And they know that all eyes are on you because, like, so, you know, people who see your work, they'll try to compete in related topics, and it's just like, let's see how that's going for them. All eyes are on you, so you know, nobody's paying attention to what they're doing, is what I'm hearing, I think. They see that you're in a movable position, okay? And you just look at them like, you like feel so sorry. They're watching people try to compete with you, and you're like, they're seeing you have an immovable position with all these different features and high honors. So they may have seen that you were very lucky to come into prominence so fast. And so a lot of these people who worked a long time, like they may have been on social media for 10 years, right? And had never been connected to this network that you have been. And they see that you have been new to something and you are applying pressure rapidly. And so you're like a new voice, a new pleasure for men. And you know, that's why everybody's watching you. Other women are watching you. Other men are watching you. And they see that, like, on top of being this new pleasure, like physically, you also have like university education and stuff like that. And they see that you have all these nice material goods, and that you're soft, still, and calm and compassionate. They see you as divine feminine. They see you as everything that they ever could have wanted. But you have to accept it, and they were just not able to. How are these men viewing you? These could be transgender people, is what I'm hearing. Transgender people who are viewing your beauty, looks, and style. Okay, so they're like a man that wants to be a woman, is what I'm hearing. Okay, so they try to dress like you. Okay, because they know that you're divine feminine and you're like a real woman, is what I'm hearing. You're like a real woman, and they're just you know, so they just try to mimic you know, your beauty, looks, and style, you know, to help their gender dysmorphia. Okay, some of you. We have the Ace of Swords. Yeah, I'm hearing men that were struggling with their sexuality, perhaps, could not communicate. And it's because they felt like, some of them, they grew jealous of your public recognition. Okay, and then we have the Knight of Wands. Yeah, I'm hearing that you realized that they were not planning, they were not moving things forward, that they were not focused on the relationship, that they were hiding an emotional weakness with people who were like envious of you, is what I'm hearing. I'm hearing they started strategizing and it started to get inspired by a like fight about you. Okay, I'm hearing they started getting inspired about a fight about you. People where you're really applying pressure to them, is what I'm hearing. You're applying pressure to them. Yeah, I'm hearing that you have a new opportunity with this person, but I feel like there was a cycle where this person is like, what they're doing is that, you know, the resistance is a clear lower standard and quality than you. Okay, and this could be third party resistance, but this could just be a lot of other opinions about you in a market where people want to compete with you for related topics or something like that. They want to compete in related topics. Compete for related artwork, and they're very mad, right? And so a lot of these men, this could be someone in particular that you're looking at that's on the mainstream line or the main commercial line, that where you guys have a continuous collaboration with one another, but these are cycles of where this person had grew a resentment because they were not able to communicate, that they were just, it's not that they didn't find you to be sexy and, you know, that they didn't want it, you know what I'm saying? Like, they wanted it. They were the Knight of Wands, but they also couldn't plan anything for, you know, because they couldn't establish, you know, with the Ace of Pentacles, they couldn't establish strong roots. And, you know, they need to communicate if they want to establish strong roots, friends. So, like, the Ace of Pentacles, like, it could also be Ace of Swords energy as well. But I feel like we have the Ace of Swords here, too. That's cool. But, yeah, I feel like with this Ace of Pentacles is an opportunity to establish something and ground the relationship. Like, it's not that they didn't want it. they were very lucky to have come across you, to be quite honest, because all of their other options are lower standards and qualities, and their resistance from, their third-party resistance or their other options are lower standards and qualities. And if this person is not with you, they know that you're divine feminine, and they are consciously aware of it, and it's because they just don't know how to communicate how they feel, right? And they can't establish a strong bond, so it ends up like, because they can't communicate, and it ends up like being a missed opportunity, or it ends up being, them building up resentment and making it something that you're doing, but it's really something that they're doing. Like it's you're really the one that can't communicate. You're really the one that has third-party resistance to like people who are clear. Like, we don't. Why are you like considering the opinions of people who are clearly a lower standard in quality? Like, you're the it girl, you're the it boy, you are the divine feminine, so nobody will ever compare to you, okay? But they are like, these are men that are cold and detached because they got grew a resentment about your rewards and recognition. So I feel like this could be a Leo, or this can be a male performer. This could be a man, like I said, male or man performer, and they like to get attention too, right? They're in their feminine too, friend. Okay, but I'm just kidding. LOL. It's like, yeah, but they like to get attention too. They like to get rewards and recognition too. A lot of these men didn't want to admit to people that you were their true source of empowerment because of like their egoic performative persona, right? Their shadow attachments to their persona or performance, where it would reveal that they were not the true source of power. They were not the creative power. They were not the exceptional intellect, and so they grew a resentment around you being the it person. They grew a resentment, like, you actually started to probably outshine some of these men, or this was like, these are men that you need to sue, okay, because you guys have some creative projects together. You have some projects together where they just grew resentment around you outshining them on the project, is what I'm hearing. And that shows that they were like, you just looked at them like they were a big loser because they felt so emasculated by you. Is what I'm hearing. I think that right now, I think that there's a new opportunity, but this person is too pessimistic about the relationship to plan anything towards you. It's like they're egoic. They're really, really aligned with ego, and they're bitter, resentful, and they are going to, I'm hearing that their other options, right? Their other options are, they're considering the feelings of other people, or they're doing something intentionally bitter because they already see you as so much pressure, and they see you as so, getting so much attention. It's like, oh, I don't want, like I said, they don't want to let people see where the true source of power is. And some of them were really intimidated by your education and university as well. They just felt like they were not as smart as you. And so when you came in and took over the project, you started to outshine them on the project. And I'm getting that this could be something that involves your creativity or something like that. But I feel like with this person, I'm actually going to get a message from this person, because I forgot to do this for Pal 2, but I did it in Pal 1. But I kind of want to get a message from these men, the collective men for Pal 3. Because this is like, it seems like it's a new opportunity, but it doesn't feel like they're planning in this stage. I think that they're just, inspired to take some type of action towards you, but they also are out exploring other options as well that they know don't compare to you, because you're the divine feminine, okay? And I think that this person, they want to, it's like they're cold and detached towards you now because they couldn't communicate, okay? And, you might be hurt about this, like, but, you can't, you just realize that, like, the reason you didn't do anything to them is what I'm hearing. And so you just look at them like they're a loser, and they feel like an idiot too, and they feel like you were disillusioned by them. You don't think that they're that great anymore, and so, things will never be the same. Even if with this new opportunity, like, they really miss you, and they really, they do have good intentions to sit back and like watching you. I think that they want to come out of this resentment. They want to communicate, but they have just been failing at that and not doing what it takes. Like they have really been failing at that because they're too resentful and bitter about the pressure that you apply and the attention that you get, and nobody clearly compares to you, and what I'm saying, like nobody's opinions of people who want to compete with you. I'm hearing that they're still exploring people who want to compete, and I think that them doing that just makes you realize that, like, they're not dedicated and committed, you know what I'm saying? So and I think it's because they couldn't. Yeah, I'm getting there's something where you guys worked on a project or did something together where they couldn't control you anymore. And so this was really narcissistic. I'm hearing that they discarded the relationship, or they detached from the relationship when they couldn't control you anymore, or when they felt like you were outshining them. They wanted to do something to stop you from getting shine around something because they didn't want people to know their true source of power. Yeah, I knew that this was going to come out. I feel like such an idiot. They were doing something. And I'm hearing that they feel like an idiot for making a conflict with you when you were just like, you end up asking them like, what are you talking about, or something like that. Maybe you were like, what are you talking about? Or you started to question reality, like, did that happen? I don't know what we're talking about. Or it's just like something, that they just, you just looked at them like they were a loser. Like they know that you don't think as highly of them anymore, and they already have a poor self-image, and so now it's just like things will never be the same, I think. So I think that, like, you guys are getting a new opportunity, but I don't, it's up to you, if you want to fix the relationship with this person. You are divine feminine, and so I think that they will always be one with you, but they feel like such an idiot now that you have become disillusioned by them. You're like, oh, I didn't realize that you were that big of a loser to have, like, not have taken responsibility for yourself whatsoever. Like, yeah, I think that you were really shocked by the conflict and shocked by the inability. I'm hearing shocked that they were so unable, that they broke promise. I'm hearing that they broke promises, or they really failed to show up in a really big way. And after getting a higher learning or watching you get lucky after leaving them, I'm hearing they left you high and dry, right? They wanted to do something to hurt you when, like I said in the beginning, this was a fight, but it was a one-sided fight. Like they were projecting. It was like they were not able to communicate, and they didn't feel good enough about themselves, but they made it about, like, they made it like it was something that you were doing to them to make them feel bad about themselves, when really you were just getting a lot of attention, getting a lot of flowers, living your life, practicing detachment, going to do your hobbies, or going to practice your self-care, and they were growing resentment because they couldn't communicate something that they were having an issue with. And so the relationship, they may have ended the relationship in a weird way, or started doing something to flip sides, and they were just not, like, they were just not taking responsibility for themselves whatsoever, and that this was their inability to communicate and not something that you were doing. And it was their lack of planning, them not being able, right? And it made you, that you were everything that they ever wanted. You're divine feminine, and everybody's watching you, right? And so you just see that it was just such a low self-esteem, and having some type of trophy partner like you, and some type of it person like you. You're so successful and so rewarded, and it's just a lot around that as well, and they just didn't feel like they had enough achievements. So a lot of them, they went to go work on their finances and career, or some of them, they got really intimidated by your education and university, and it just also made them feel even more like an idiot, because like something where their behavior projection, shows so much lack of competency, it and how they were not able to show up and left you in a really, like, poor situation because they were not able. and they see that you were lucky after that, and you just look back and was like, look, that was just somebody who never could plan. You know, despite us having this vulnerability with one another, you just could never accept it because you were just too poor within your self-image and just settling for what you know was a lower standard in quality. The resistance that you feel is the, you know, the resistance in ascending to the true love, ascending to the person who, you know, is pleasurable to you and not to something that you know is a lower standard in quality, right? And they just feel like an idiot for trying all that they did to justify this, you know, lack of accountability. And you're just like, you're just a loser. I see you couldn't plan. Like, you're just a loser that couldn't do anything right or plan anything right, and, you know, couldn't take responsibility, didn't have an awareness, right? Or did have an awareness, you were so bitter and just like refused to, like, these are people who kind of just like, I'm not going to say they weren't aware, because the King of Swords is very aware. Like, the King of Swords is aware that it's a lower standard in quality. They know that it's karmic. They know that it's not divine feminine, right? And they'll still try to justify, you know, the rivalry, the competition, right? And it's just them being bitter about, you know, a period in your relationship where they couldn't communicate and do anything right. And they also feel a resentment about your university and education. They also feel a resentment about you having nice things. They also feel a resentment about you taking care of yourself, right? And it's because they're so self-centered and narcissistic. They just, you know, they hated to see you get rewarded and having pleasure. Like, it's like this, they could be wanting to be an influencer, or they could be wanting to be a star, you know what I'm saying? And they just, you know, and it was like an attention thing or a power struggle on a creative project. Or there was like, you know, this person, they really did not take responsibility for their own, you know, their own issue. It was not anything that you were doing. And now coming, you know, I'm hearing something where you had to break them free from this destructive, like, I don't know, destructive unconscious gripping where they refuse to, you know, hold themselves responsible. It's like, it's not anything that you're doing to them. They were literally projecting onto you and trying to, like, justify a triangulation or not showing up in the relationship, not planning towards a relationship, really trying to convince themselves that this was, you know, that this is like justified. Like, these people, they can be Gemini, Aquarius, Libra, or just Sagittarius, Leo, Aries. But these people, they really have to, you know, grok AI imagine to survive. These people, these men are very resentful, and they convinced themselves that it was something that you did so that they could just like cope with the fact that they just could not do anything right in the relationship because they were so intimidated and emasculated by your rewards and recognition. And I'm getting that, of course, they just, you know, they feel, you know, passion for you, but it's like, you know, they could also manifest as resentment as well. And this person, I'm hearing that they're really obsessed with your body, but they're resentful towards your body, and their obsession is a resentment. And that, you know, they hate to see your body getting rewarded. They hate to see you with a, you know, a famous body, or they hate to see your body getting highly desired and eliciting desire for sex. And it is just, you know, they will convince themselves that they want something else, like, oh, I don't need it if so many other people want it, or, oh, they get too much attention, or, oh, I'm just a loser and I can't talk and I can't be the center of attention. Really, truly, that is their deepest desire, to be the center of attention, but they're such a loser, they can't do anything right or plan towards the future, you know what I'm saying? And so they just sit there consciously aware that you are everything that they ever wanted, but so mad at you for being everything that they ever wanted, they just go and do something of a lower quality and standard, just to hurt you, right? Just to, you know, it's something where they, like I said, they couldn't do something right and they blamed you for it. And they said, oh, I'm going to go triangulate you to hurt your self-esteem, when it was really their self-esteem that was hurt, because you were this it girl that had this perfect life and did everything right, and they just couldn't do anything right, like communicate and plan, right? But anyways, so that's what makes them feel like an idiot, like watching you, you know, and you got real lucky after fucking with them, right? Thank you so much, Pal 3. Let me know how that resonates, and I'll see you in the next one.